Welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adela Levine, intuitive and medium. Okay guys, so I did a poll only on YouTube because on my community, I know like the community page isn't like as happening as, let's say, TikTok or other exciting social media, but I do like to ask you guys pretty much a few times a month, what are you looking for in classes, or what are you looking for on videos? Okay, and it was a very close tie. Was it suspense? No, because it's in the title, yeah. All right, so the tie was between what are hauntings really and what is a dark entity. And the dark entity peaked, pun intended, its head a little bit higher above, and the votes went a little bit more to the dark entity subject. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I want to start with this. The concept of dark entities are very popular, if you haven't noticed. They're in pretty much every movie that you've seen about mediums, about Ouija boards, about spirits, about ghosts, about psychic, about, I mean, I could go on and on and on, and you will see that pretty much it's always going to land into the category of a dark entity is causing the havoc of everything, right? Anybody recognize The Exorcist, perhaps? And that there was the idea that a dark entity was attached to a item that was bought. So there are many, many hokey and also probably really good like scare type movies. But is this the way Adela sees it? And since I'm talking about myself in third person now, because this is my channel and I'm giving you my perspective and what I've learned from the spirit world. And it is definitely not like the movies. Sorry. The movies are a fun little ride. And actually one of my favorite movies is, and Citric better put this up, is Constantine. Pause for putting this up. I love Constantine. I mean, for a couple of reasons. There's Keanu Reeves. Come on. And also because really like the concept of someone seeing energies in other people. Now, I want to break it down to how I see dark entities. I want to be clear that I'm not talking about demons. Demons I've covered on here before. If you guys want me to do another video on demons, go ahead and comment below and let me know. I can, but I have done a video on this already. And this is not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about dark entities. And dark entities are the idea that people have that are spirits that have died, people who have died, and suddenly they have become these dark, evil spirits that are trying to harm people. Now, the difference between that and, let's say, a demon is these are energies that are from that realm, only like almost alive and living and existing to create, you know, havoc into your life. Cue cats eating. So yeah, so this is the difference. A dark entity to me that I feel people tend to think is going on is more like a spirit that is kind of gotten, you know, evil and is dark and is just, you know, maybe attaching itself to you, or having a way to attach themselves inside your body, like allowing them to exist. And this is what I feel people think dark entities are. What I actually see dark entities are, and it's very actually rare. They're not shadow people. I know people think that's shadow people. I get this DM and these emails and questions all the time that people are very convinced that a shadow person is a dark entity, and that is not. Again, I've covered this before, but just to remind you, a shadow person is really just your sight not being able to see clearly and see the spirit world. You know, it could be family, it could be a friend, it could be just very, very friendly, has nothing to do with anything bad. And I feel that that has been a problem, is that people always think if something is shadowed or something has that word in it, like dark, then it's something always, quote, evil. And that is not what I see a dark entity. A dark entity to me, most of the time, is something, believe it or not, that we even create. So kind of imagine that there is energy inside you. You're angry, you're frustrated, you have all of these issues that you haven't resolved and things that are going on inside you. And I'm not saying it's emotional. I'm definitely saying this is an energy, and it starts to kind of grow and evolve. How do I know this? Because I've cleaned people off. I have cleansed people. I don't do it a ton, but I have, where I've pulled this kind of energy. And did I see it as an entity? Yes and no. What I saw it is an energy that someone almost liked about themselves. Okay, let me repeat that in a different way. What I mean by that is sometimes we hold on to our anger, we hold on to a fury. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with healthy anger, but I'm saying where it just gets pushed down and it festers and it grows and it becomes this part of you, and it almost becomes a second part of you, and it almost makes a place for itself, but it's your energy. Okay. All right. So I am going to cover the other type, because I know people are going to say, listen, I know I've had these experiences. I know people are going to comment and saying, I know you're saying this, Adela, but I know what I saw. You must understand this, that when there's something you don't understand and something that is foreign and something that feels very powerful and feels vibrant, like energy of all sorts, whether it's something that is positive feeling or negative feeling, you are going to, and you don't understand where it's coming from, you're going to definitely be afraid, and you're definitely going to put it in the category of something evil and bad. Because I hear this all the time. People say, oh, something was talking to me. And really, most of the time, there's things happening that you don't understand. In other words, if your body's laying there and your spirit's trying to kind of astral project, or it's trying to do things, you are going to feel like something is pulling on you or making you feel like you can't breathe, which I've covered too about sleep paralysis. And the reason why I'm referencing these other videos is because I know these will come up, and I want to give you, a place where you can see this, but this is different. This is about a dark entity. However, with all of that said, and I definitely believe, I would say probably 95% of the time, the energy that people are feeling that feels like something inside of them is festering, something inside of them is not feeling right, and they've claimed it's an attachment, and all these things are really our own energy that is trying to find its way through healing and through giving a more lighter energy to help it dissipate, right? And help it heal and help it transform. In other words, if you see energy as a sphere, like a ball, and it can turn into a light and it can turn into a dark. I mean, I'm going to have to say it, much like Star Wars. Okay, so that's the point of it. The point of the Star Wars, the dark and the light, and the idea of choosing the side, which energy are you going to work with? And if you're someone who's like, I just kind of feel like I'm getting new into the spiritual world and spirituality, and I don't feel that powerful, or if you're someone who's opening yourself up and you feel like you've had things that have happened to you most of your life, either way, or if you're someone who's not even interested in spirituality at all, but you do believe that the choices you make and the choices that you do for your life and the things that you do somehow is affecting you. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to dark entities. So an entity is almost like something coming from that dark energy and forming into something that might be overtaking parts of you. I don't mean a demon. I don't mean something going in, you absorbing inside of your physical body. I'm not talking about position. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about it's almost a piece of us. You've heard of the term battle your own demons. To me, that's really what's happening with dark entities. Now, with that said, are there energies, what I have called that people have known me to call bad boys and girls? Yes. People who have passed, who think it's funny to mess with you, who think it's funny to kind of run havoc. Yes, but it usually is exactly what I'm saying. Kind of look at it like a troll or a prankster, mostly like a troll. If you look at the spirit world and the other realms like the internet, that it's a frequency and an energy. And are there energies that come in and try to mess things up because it's fun and they like to watch the chaos? Yes. But is it like gonna go full blown like the movies that you see where this is happening and it goes completely crazy like The Conjuring or something? No. And that's where it gets very difficult to even be someone who is opening yourself up to the spirit world and to spirituality, because I'm sure these are the things that come up and there's fear around it, which I understand. Do you always put boundaries and protection? Absolutely. But I want you to understand there's a very big difference, that the rarity of something, of what you've seen in movies and in mainstream media, is extremely rare. Have I seen it? I have, and I've shared this on this channel before. And I can tell you, out of 17 years of reading and doing house cleansings and cleansings on people and medium readings and seances and medium galleries and all the things that I've done, it has been a handful of times that I can describe something really like off. Maybe a little bit of the, the second hand. I can tell you that I've seen where it's like, this is something completely off the charts. Okay. And how you know the difference, if you're sitting there going, Adela, I feel like I've seen these things, I've had these things happen, whatever. If you haven't run out of your house screaming and running down the street and, in this kind of manner, it isn't what you think it is. Trust me, because I've seen some things that after has come from being very well trained in doing what I'm doing. What I mean trained, I mean, no one trained me, but the other realm of the universe and my dedication to honing this and understanding this and learning that part of doing the work I do as being a warrior. If I wasn't able to face this after 10 years or 12 years or wherever I was during these times, I've seen these things, believe me, that would have been me. And I've known people who are very spiritual, have seen these things, and it's flipped them out. So I can tell you that this isn't something you're like, oh, it was scary. Oh, it scared the hell out of me. No. It would be literally you're running out of your house down the street. So I'm saying to you, I want you to not dwell on this and stress on this as, oh my gosh, like this is the only thing I can think about when I'm thinking about energy and entities and all this type of thing. Sometimes what you're perceiving as a dark entity can even be other type of higher beings that are a little bit more powerful. Believe it or not, even a being like Archangel Michael can feel so powerful that it scares people. It's not all, like this kind of thing. And so even that energy can feel very intimidating, and you can wonder, oh my God, what was that? That was really intense. So that's why I want you to understand there's two camps that I'm talking about. One about entities that I feel people perceive as entities, which is something we tend to make inside of ourselves. What I mean by that is our own things that we're going through and things that we kind of can create. And you've seen this in someone where you're like, they're so angry, they're so this, it's almost like something has taken over. Now, what I mean by taken over, but it hasn't taken over them, but I'm saying it feels like another part of who they are. It's like them, but not them. You see what I mean? And can energies around a person feed that? Yes. But I want you to be clear that's a very big difference to the idea that you're just going to walk into a quote haunted house, which I will do a video on, and you're suddenly going to have a dark entity come home with you. Okay, this isn't the Disneyland haunted mansion, right? No, that is not happening. That is definitely not happening. So I want you to understand that as I close this video, I just want to leave you with this. Stay open, stay having boundaries, put protection and boundaries around you when you're doing spiritual work. Yes, some things might kind of trip you out because it may be a feeling of something magical, paranormal, but it doesn't always have to go too bad. Okay? I hope this made sense. Please comment below any questions because I'm happy to answer, but also any experiences that you feel like you want to share. I love for you guys to comment. Don't forget to comment because this is how we can grow and learn and connect. I'm still offering the 50% off of readings during this pandemic, which are very much still in, with the code PEACE. I did take a vote on the next class you guys want me to do, and you guys wanted me to do how to communicate with spirits in the dream world. And that will be the next class. And I'm doing an online seance if you want to check that out on my Instagram. I post a lot of this stuff on my Instagram. I say it on here, but I also post all this on Instagram if you follow me on there. Thank you guys so much. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to that inner voice, and I'll see you guys soon.